All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Monai Invitational player list or player invites. This is my first time doing a video in general, really. So, uh, you'll have to excuse my inexperience. I, of course, being Monai. Um, I was gonna do this with Mad Dog earlier, but it got stretched out a while we were trying to find some footage. I got some background replays, so it's just me for now. But a lot of the early replays will be what we try to do. There was also a lot of technical difficulties, so it was pause and go, and I can't just use the footage. So, without further ado, we'll get into the first player. Of course, being Finchinator. I don't think Finchinator needs an introduction at all. One of the forefront players of Black and White. I think he really helps define what is standard in Black and White. And of course, no player can be the standard. But he really pushes and really refines these builds, and is obviously an excellent pilot. Besides that, he's had great showings in SBL, in Black and White, not just Black and White, but a lot of the current generations as well, SS, SV. I'm sure the other ones, although I wasn't really around for that. But excellent player, excellent builder, very, very competent all around. Very strong favorite for the tournament overall. I think this pick was obvious. It's Finchinator in Black and White, right? So that's player number one. Next one, Dice. Uh, Almost opposite to Finch. By the way, I'm not gonna be going over these replays or anything. I'll leave them in the description if you want to watch them though. But Dice, also an excellent player. I think of him as almost a counterparter opposite to Finch, and that while Finch redefines and optimizes standard Dice helps push the boundaries of what is good, what is acceptable in Black and White. And as you can see here, there's this awesome size Gira build that I just love from 2021 now. But yeah, I mean, you see all these different, like before Dice, they would have been janky, weird stuff, and he's really proven that they can work, proven that they're solid builds behind a solid pilot. I think a Black and White Invitational without Finch or Dice would be ridiculous. I mean, these are two of the best players and builders for Black and White. So, not there's very little I could say about them that I think isn't well known. So, that's Dice for you. Next player, Solwind. I'm actually very glad that Solwind accepted this invitation. I thought he was too tired of Black and White, too frustrated with the metagame. But he is also known as one of the best, if not the best, Black and White pilot around. If he's not a top one, then he's probably at least top three. Excellent pilot, exemplary pilot regarding the game in this generation. So it's great to have him on, and I'll be very excited to watch and narrate his games as well. So, next player will be Jizu. So, Jizu is somewhat of a newcomer to Black and White, but despite that, they've shown that they're very solid player and presence within the tier. When I before they had their like come up in Black and White, I think it was a recent cup. I think it was like last cup. I'm sorry, I'm bad with tournaments, but ironically, uh, I knew Jizu. I swear to God, as like an ADV NU player or some sort of thing like that. So I didn't know anything about them. Didn't pay them much mind, but they've been absolutely destroying it, doing or having solid performances across the board when they've been playing Black and White Cup, SPL, and now Roa PL. I think they've also been doing very well. So a new face to Black and White. Maybe not a new face in general, but great to have them here. It's nice to see relatively new players to Black and White. I think they'll be a very solid force within the within the tour. Sorry. Next, Evian. Mad Dog said it best in my opinion, where Evian is controlled chaos. He, I mean, if you're looking at the screen right now, there's a wall rain here, so that's a little odd. But Evian, I mean, I think he's the best player at winning with whatever he wants to. He'll bring like these beyond out there picks like Blastoise, Jolteon, Walrein, and he'll find success with them even at the highest level in SPL. Like he's had his breakout Black and White Cup showing, where he made it to, I want to say semifinals, top four, and has since had a great showing in SPL, where this game is from. Walrein. I think he's also been helped be part of like the Conkeldurr craze that took place earlier this year around SPL, just because everyone wanted to replicate his success with Conkeldurr. I think it's very inspiring what he can do with these Pokemon, and I'm very excited to see, frankly, the crack he brings to the tour. So good luck to him, and I'm sure he'll do well. Next player, Reza. Great pilot overall. I want to say that he is most well known and widely known for piloting these sand balance, sand fat psychic teams, and he does it excellently. In my opinion, even better than the original pioneer of the team, who I believe was APR. But he's not a one-trick pony. He's still great with your rain builds and your out there HO builds. In addition, like he has his ace, but he has a lot of things to surprise players as well. So I think he just has the necessary skills, necessary variety to do really well in the store. All right, Shoka, the old Frenchie. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of Excadrill Celebi from him, which of course is his trademark, at least in my opinion. But when I was going over for replays for this player listing, I saw all sorts of insane stuff in addition to like special Dragonite weatherless balance and all sorts of insane stuff. So not only is Shoka very, very proficient in like these mid-paced sand balance builds, I think he uses them very, very well. He's able to go out there and really use creative and powerful builds. And although he hasn't really shown up in recent SPLs, even though he hasn't really shown up in recent SPLs or team tours as much, he still helps build and test and theory craft and push the metagame. So he's a very strong driving force of the black and white scene. So very, very strong player going into this tour. It's on loop. It's not on loop. Right, there we go. Alright. That's a good timer, I guess, 10 minutes in. Mid-roll ads. So, that's all said for Shoka. Next, on to Watashi. Watashi is excellent. Next, no, Watashi has done I think he branched out from black and white and never used originally, and has become a really, really great pilot of black and white overused. I think what helps him a lot, in my opinion, is his variety. I mean, I don't know if anyone, I don't know how many of you guys saw him bring Drapion, what was it, 2 weeks ago? But he's clearly willing to use a variety of builds. Some may call it cheese. But I think it's a good thing that he's impossible to pin down. And he's not handicapping himself by going out there bringing different builds. He gets solid wins with these, with regular Rotom Ghost, with Drapion, and he's very clearly able to use standard as well. I associated him with Exca personally, and I've seen him use lots of like standard rain very proficiently as well. So very, very varied player, very solid player. Yeah. Alright, Watashi. Sorry for the technical errors. You're gonna have to put up with that a bit while I learn how to record videos. But we'll just go into the next player. So, our next contestant is Peng, former council member. Peng is someone who's very in tune with the current trends and ongoings of black and white. He knows what's good and is always thinking about how to take advantage of them or how to get the leg up on them. I think that will be very powerful going into this tournament, where maybe a lot of players are just reusing whatever's trendy and whatever's proven to be good. Whereas he tricks a Polito to Sticky Barb, whereas most players will, with good reason, be sticking to standards like leftovers. But yeah, so whereas other players might be using, say, the very popular like Terrakion Keldeo sand balance build, he'll be looking for good ways to exploit that, for example. So I'm excited to see what he brings, what he cooks up, and how he helps push the metagame forward. So on to the next player, Roro. I don't think a player like Roro ever needs an introduction, but I will give it regardless, of course. Excellent player across all the old gens. I know he's been having a lot of success in what's it called, in SV of all things. He makes teams for all the tiers he plays. He's very good at building, very good at playing, of course. And is a staple name in the old generations for a reason. He's known more for ADV, of course, than anything else, but that doesn't mean he should ever be underestimated in this tier. So, straightforward, but straightforwardly good player. Alright. Star Master. Similar to Roro, I want to say he's much more known for ADV, but is shown to be very solid across multiple generations. And I've seen his play in black and white. I've seen that he's had success in the other old generations. Has a very strong ability to pilot and switch between different tiers. So he will have no issue performing very well in black and white in this tournament. Alright. Just a very well-rounded player overall. Very solid. Alright. Markop. The Overquill. I love Markop builds. I remember you ran like Victini last SPL, and I was like obsessed with it for like a month. It's like, this has to be good. But Markop's willingness to try new things and his very solid play overall means that I think he's always dangerous to prep into, and even if the prep didn't go according to plan, he's always able to simply go for the outplay. I think Markop will be very, very solid in this tour. He has shown that he's able to play black and white at a high level as well, having played it, I think, 2022 SPL. I'm not sure about any others. But is clearly very, very good at it. So, on to the next. Alright. Sorry for a bit of a jump, but going into the next player, someone who's been kicking ass since I was in elementary school. M Dragon has a very, very storied and very impressive resume within black and white. I believe he won, I want to say, the first black and white cup, and did it in convincing fashion. Since then, he has remained up to date with the tier, and I believe is still a council member. So, has all the accolades, has all the experience necessary to do well in a tour like this, and is just well known for excelling at these old gens. So, on to the next player. Tricking. Tricking isn't exactly someone known for his black and white, but he is known as someone who is a great player overall, and has shown himself to be a very competent black and white pilot through his classic playoffs performances. I'm sure if he takes some time to learn the current scene a little bit thoroughly, and he'll do very, very, very well. He, of course, helped manage an SPL team as well, so I'm sure he was involved in the black and white prep and is comfortable with the metagame. Alright. On to the next player, Alodin. Another council member, I believe. I've always liked Alodin's black and white. Like his style, his builds. I think they're unique. I think they're pretty cool. He is a player I don't remember playing a ton of black and white, or at least black and white invitational individuals in recent times, but he did, of course, play in SPL 2022 13, where he did solid in the black and white slot. So there's precedence for him to do well in a tour. I'm sure he has the knowledge, and the skill to bring it all the way on his own. All right. Next is Lax. Again, like tricking, not exactly a player known for their black and white specifically, but excellent player overall. I think the Invitational would be a little bit empty without these great players over who are solid at tiers overall to really help flesh them out. I think Lax is a great example of this. Yeah, every tour needs both its mainers and its new faces, and I think Lax will do excellent. All right, I think we're halfway through the list. 16? Yeah, we're going to 17. August, perennial classic fan favorite. Uh, very solid at black and white. I don't recall if he played in any team tours like SPL or whatever, but of course, regularly shows up in cups and in classic to show everyone what he's made of. He has a great number of black and white wins against excellent players like the one I'm showing you right now. Beating Soulwind is a very impressive accomplishment. And I want to say he brought back SD drill at a time that it was not as fashionable, which I think helped push the metagame a bit forward past these like fat builds. Bronzong was really popular at the time, and I think he used it himself even. But a solid player, very good fundamentals overall, has very proven results in black and white. So on to the next player. Wellio. Wellio played black and white again. I think this SBL, but he's a player who jumps around a lot between tiers. But despite that, he has good showings in a lot of them. He brings solid stuff and performs pretty consistently. I hope he brings that consistency to the tour. I'm sure he'll do very well. All right. Next, we got the CEO. Agency, everyone. Blunder. Returning from current gen for another try at black and white overused. This is a old player within the context of black and white. He hasn't really played it since it was S-Tour. It was an S-Tour S-Tour generation. But nevertheless is a iconic name both within black and white history as well as just the community overall. I hope he brings a lot of the hype to the tour. I know he'll be a treat to watch. So I was very excited to hear that he was on board for this. So, on to the next player. Jirachi. My homie, Jirachi. He's been around since 2009 or some shit. So he's seen it all in black and white and has had success throughout the years playing the tier. He played SPL, I want to say back in 2017 for black and white specifically. He plays a lot of these old gens, but he had, despite not having played black and white in SPL in quite a while, he still keeps up with the tier a lot. He still plays it in individuals and team tours and is very good at it. And I think he's still a very solid builder. I've seen a lot of what he's made. I think he'll do very well. Of course, I need the other Invitational owner in my tour, so I can get into DPP invite, of course. But yeah, I do genuinely believe that he's one of the best black and white players. So I'm glad he's here to play it. All right. Next player, ZF, uh, known for his antics, trolling Smog off. I love ZF builds. I think he he pushes the metagame uh, in ways that you just wouldn't like. You would have no reason to expect. He showed me like Shed Shell, Counter Sizzler, which just kind of like blew my mind. And he's always trying these new fucked up things that he finds ways to make work. So he'll be very, very exciting to watch. Has had solid classic runs in the past, and I believe has played black and white in SBL. So yeah. Next player, Sergi. I hope I got the ordering right. Sergi. Sergi is an old-time German player, I want to say, who's been in the black and white scene for quite a while. He's, I want to say, has come back to play black and white more seriously, has joined a lot of tours in recent times, and has done very solid. He mixes a lot of like consistent known builds with a lot of more out there, a little bit more crazy stuff, and he uses them all very well. I'm trying to think if he's played any super big tours in recent times, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of the old SBLs. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But Sergi, yeah, a historic name, great player. I'm sure he'll do well on this tour and can mix up with his variety of both standard, solid stuff and things a little bit more out there to catch people off guard. Crystal, another player more known for her DPP, but she is still very enthusiastic and solid at black and white. So I was glad that she was interested and accepted the invitation. Trying to make her, she's trying to make a name for herself in other old generations like ADV and black and white, and is very, very competent at these solid offensive builds. I can't really say too much about her regarding her black and whites specifically, but I know that she's very knowledgeable of the tier, likes to try new things, and is just very solid overall. So despite the lack of specific results, at least that I can remember, she very much deserves her place in this tour. All right, this is really awkward because I mixed up the ordering. The last one was supposed to be male. Let me grab that. Yeah. So, you can. This is the Sergi replay. So, but yeah, male. Someone who Rick is someone who I was told is surprisingly into black and white. I guess there's something between like DPP and black and white that just interests people. But Male is a very, very strong player in DPP, but has a lot of insight and a lot of ideas going into black and white. He has performed very, very well this black and white cup. So, like in addition to, and I was told that he was an active presence in his SPL black and white chat. Obviously, no one can really fact check me on that one, or I guess you can. Uh, but Mail is someone who is interested in pushing forward black and white metagame, pushing forward their own black and white, and I'm sure they'll do really well if they're as interested in the tier as they claim. And obviously they did great in this cup, so they deserve the chance, and I'm sure they'll do well. Sage, a somewhat recent seasonal winner. I think they've been on the outskirts of the black and white scene for a while. Hasn't really broken into SPL, but I think they do. I think they do deserve it if they want to play black and white in SPL, black and white specifically. Brings very solid, somewhat known, but good nonetheless builds, and varies it up a lot. Able to bring sand, rain, HO, bring them all consistently and proficiently. Obviously, seasonal winner is a solid accomplishment. I think their play is also quite solid as well. That wasn't obvious or stated enough. Sage will be a very consistent force within this tour. You can tell that I'm not cut out for these long narrations. It might get a little repetitive, I'm sorry. So, doing my best here as a first timer. Next. Meridian? Yeah, Meridian. Meridian is an relatively old name in black and white. Everything before, like, 2019, when I learned about Showdown, kind of blurs together for me. But Meridian was a name that I recognized as someone, when I first joined black and white, as someone who really loves to mess with, like, the fringe stuff, or even like the unusual sets on regular builds, like a Scarf Stormy Rain, or in this case you can see Alakazam Celebi Rain. Not exactly standard, some would say, but great player overall. Very diverse, interesting, and aggressive builds. I think they're all very cool. I don't know their specific tour history off the top of my head. I'm sorry, it's escaping me, but I know that they've had their solid showings in the past. All right, Ruhr, a somewhat old time player, but has nonetheless kept up with black and white in recent years, and is very proficient at it. He's seen many black and white metagames and has played at the highest level, SPL, multiple times. Has had a very good black and white cup showing this year, if I recall correctly. Very, very solid player, very versatile player. Can bring many things, especially proficient with the more standard stuff. So I personally believe that he will do quite well as well, and I'm hoping that is correct. I'm hoping to see that he brings that level of I'm hoping to see consistency from him in this tour. All right. Buy High. Our third DPP head. Is it third or fourth? Buy High is not a player most would associate with black and white, but he has a lot. He enjoys the metagame. He clearly likes building his own stuff, as you can see with this Breloom Sigilith Weatherless. Has had, like Crystal, has had solid success branching out into ADV, and is now looking for a chance in black and white. I wish him all the best. I know he can do well, and definitely shake things up with his janky builds. Might discover something new and powerful. All right, on the next player. Lefties, an ancient player as well. I don't think quite as old as someone like M Dragon. What's this game from? Yeah, 2015. Dear God, I was in middle school. Yeah, great player, household name since antiquity. Lefties was playing during current gen, I believe, and is looking to cash out on this Invitational's prize. I'm sure he'll do. I'm sure he'll do very well, as he's done very well in many generations, many different tiers throughout the years, and his return to black and white should be triumphant. All right. This is another case. I needed to organize my replays and be like looking at the list or something, because I did Rewers for someone else. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there's Brewer, but this one is no. This replay was actually meant to be for Nolorium. Nolorium is a very solid black and white player, one of the more active members of the community, and a very, I want to say, probably one of the most known faces of black and white within the LA community. I want to say. Don't fact check me, because I'm probably wrong. But is great at the tier nonetheless. I think he deserves his shot in the Invitational. If I recall correctly, I don't think he's had a chance in anything like a SPL or an official like that. But he's had a solid team tour results, is very active regarding keeping up with the meta and playing tours. So I wish him all the best. I think this is. I hope he breaks out here. I might be slandering him, saying that he hasn't played in like anything big, but let's hope I'm correct. Or maybe not. Let's hope I'm not correct in that he's had a very long and storied career of doing great. Next, Crying, a player who I enjoy the playstyle of very much. I've seen them succeed in black and white many times. Potentially biased because I drafted them in black and white PL, but they have a very aggressive and calculated style that works across the generations, and I think is very fun to watch and very solid overall. Not specifically known for black and white, and not known as a builder, but is a great pilot overall. So if she can keep up with the trends, keep up with the builds, I know that she'll do excellent. And now we're on to our last invite. Wait 2 seconds. Yeah. Great player. I want to say is similar to Nolorium in that he doesn't have. I don't think he's had a ton of huge, like, official notoriety in like team tours or whatever. But nonetheless has kept active within black and white and has done very solid overall. He I think he deserves a chance, much like Nolorium, to show that he is great at this tier, and I'm sure he'll put up a strong showing. And that is the invite list. I hope you guys tolerated my very clumsy narration, but I did enjoy doing this. If you guys enjoy, I'll put out some more content for you guys. I'll put the replays in the description, and I hope to see you next week when we do pairings. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.